We are live. I decided to go live just because I had to. I think. I don't know. I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Freedom Forum. I am your host, Yale Guardsmanam. There are only two rules in this Freedom Forum. No porn or porn bombing. And no bullies in the panel or on the chat. Everything else may go. Have fun. Fuck around, find out. Who cares? Tip back a drink with me. Have yourself a good time. All right, right quick, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run around and invite folks up to oh, pardon. My bad. Let's see here. I've got to find on my channel. Where is it? Son of a bitch. It disappeared. Ah, here we go. Pete, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Pinned at the top of the old chat there is the invitation to the Freedom Forum panel if you want to get on and up here in the box. Otherwise, chat is open to everybody. If you're blue, then you know the rigmarole. Everything may go, save for somebody sitting there bullying somebody. Everything else goes. Have fun. Big Tim, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, I just, when you says, hey, I want to do a raid real quick. And on top of that, I'm only going to be around for a couple more minutes. I said, all right, fuck it. Freedom Forum. What's up, mother cluckers? How you doing, cuz? Good to see. Oh, I need to go grab me a burp so I can go outside and get all chili bird. It's raining today, which is a good thing. Of course, I don't know why, but hey. Beer right there. Sit back, crack a beer, have one right here. I'm going to go outside and enjoy the rain. Okay. Go be a do then. I'm not throwing anything for you. You go be a do. You want it out. All right. So, we'll take this out to the old woodshed here. Whoa, flippy, flippy. Come on. Phone. Thank you. All right. No more of the seasickness. Everybody should be all right. My apologies for the cartwheeling here. That was not fun. I'm wondering if I should actually be drinking after all of that particular motion in the ocean. But hey. Yeah, I got to make myself a new sheath pretty soon here. My knife decided that it wanted to fall off of my belt. You like my outfit, huh? It's that tiger stripe and smoky branch. I figured, I'm in the middle of freaking Oregon woods. Might as well. It's best to blend in. Before I had the desert camouflage, and you remember I was living in Blythe in the desert, so it's a good thing to have. Oh yeah, that's gonna get crazy. I can already tell because I have to move the forge just because of the way that the tarp wants to sit this year. For some reason, it just wants to sit right on top of the forge, even though I've got it held up, and pinioned off and all that. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to move plants up into my greenhouse that I'm just now getting set up. And then I've got to move the forge over closer to the wall. Yes, if you hadn't noticed, I am carrying this every freaking where. This is my new everyday carry personal defense weapon. 12 inches of fuck you, get out of my way. I joke, but this right here it's a deterrent against bears, and that includes the tyrannical kind. It's a deterrent against bears. 12 inches of 44 caliber. All the power you can never ask for. Oh, and before you even wonder, no, there's nobody back behind there. It's an ammunition box that you're sitting up against. So no, there's nobody back there. It's all just woods, trees, pond, and an ammunition box. Mass layoffs are on the way. Oh boy, here we go again. 2008 all over again. 2006 all over again. 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Somebody needs to shoot that son of a bitch. What says it like that? Somebody needs to shoot that son of a bitch. Just ain't gonna be me. Why? Because I actually would not miss. And I got people I'm supposed to be defending, so somebody needs to shoot that son of a bitch, but it can't be me. Yeah. Oh, by the way, shameless plugs for everybody. That's one of the names of the game here. If you are blue, then you definitely got what it takes to do. Shameless plugs for everyone. Oh, and if you're not blue, you can beg somebody and they'll do it for you. More than likely. If not, I'll see if I can do it for you. I'll try. No guarantees. I'm about as tech savvy as a freaking ant running across a keyboard. I just pick up shit every now and then. That's why I've been able to help folks, but I'm not that tech savvy. When it comes down to mechanical shit, you hand it to me, I could break it down and put it back together right in front of you. But if you hand me a computer, I'll sit there and I'll go, okay, what did you want me to do? That sounds really complicated. Here, you show me. And my cousin happens to be Mr. Asshole. Don't you forget, motherfucker. So, as a good example, a prime example of my handiwork on the forge. This right here is the saber that I've been working on. You can see how the handle cants off of it. You can see how the finish is actually a blue steel finish. That's due to the carbon being able to poke out past the first layer of silica on either side. So you can see this little chain right here of black, or really it's gun blue, and that's acid etching that has relieved it just to the carbon in there. Cat, what's up, brother? So yes, the sword is damn near complete. And it's hard. I didn't realize this, but it's air hard. It was at an air hardening level when I finished up with doing the forge over there. It's actually air hardened. And just to prove that to you, tell you what I will do. That would be a way of doing it. So this is paperboard, okay? But it's floppy, so it's easier to make a mistake. Right to the edge of the ricasso. Oh, come on. I will do it. I know it will. I just let it fall through that. It's actually pretty clean for a sword. So, yeah. It holds a pretty good edge. It's hard. It's sharp. Oh, it also has a quality to it that I don't think that is really easy to pick up on the cell phone microphone, but I'm going to try. Log of wood or a stick of wood or something. All right, here we go. Can you hear the low? It's a very low sounding vibration on this. I was trying to hit it right next to the microphone, so it would actually show. It would sound off for you. But this thing is tuned like a tuning fork. It actually vibrates when you strike something. And on top of that, because of the handle construction, it actually holds a charge, an electrical charge. This is like some of the trippiest shit I've ever seen when it comes down to knife making, sword making. This sword holds an electrical charge. So something I did the other day, which I'm still kind of just tripping out on it, because all I did was I was sitting here and I just went like this. I just poked at the box here with the sword. I wasn't even trying to punch, through it or nothing, but it sunk right in, like it wasn't even there. There is there we go. That shows it up. There's a hole right here, and this line was cut so perfectly. It sunk right in from the blade literally vibrating all by itself. If I get enough of a charge going in this thing by swinging it around in circles for a couple minutes, it actually gets a charge to it, and it will literally just sink right into. I mean, it's already doing it a little bit, but this is from the little bit of that I've been doing. Watch. I am not bullshitting right now. There is this little tiny, let's see if I can, frame it, you fuck. There. There we go. That little hole. See, there was another hole here, but that one was one that I made yesterday. So that's the new little tiny hole. And all I did was just set it there and it just went. And that's from the little bit of swinging it around I've done. This is incredible. This isn't acting like a regular sword should. This is acting like, I don't know, like, you know, like those fantasy weapons or some shit. It's weird. But yeah, it literally just, it does. Watch. It will sink right into here. I mean, I bullshit you not. Just a little tiny tip, but hey, it's just the tip, but the tip works. And it's just under the weight of this thing. It's trying to actually shake itself in. It will literally walk itself in there. I'm tripping out on this stuff because it does. It's got a little tiny hole there now. And that's all I'm doing to basically to test and see if this theory is real. The different amount of extra energy I put into it, it will literally vibrate itself right into it. It will vibrate itself right into the cardboard. That's a trip, man. So I can honestly say I make fucking world-class swords. Hell, I make galaxy-class swords, man. I better be careful or I'm gonna have aliens showing up at my house like, meet Merp. Hi, I'm Morp. I want to have one of those swords. Yes? All right, so I am kicking back and relaxing for the most part today, like I was yesterday, because one, I worked my fucking ass off a couple of days ago to the point where I was sore all over my body. I had a couple of brand new divots in my head that still ain't, you know, gone away. So when I says I was working, let me show you what I was doing here. It's not easy to see it, but if you look out there, there we go. I built a fucking roof. I says to myself, hey, I'm sick and tired of being in there, you know, working with them chickens or whatever, and a big old glob of rain goes right down the back of my shirt. I'm like, fuck, fucking cold. See, I understand why they complain. I know why them chickens complain at me. It happens to be because nobody wants to fucking sit out in the rain. And I mean nobody. Of course, you know, I have my own views on that one, but dude, Houdini, you're slacking, dude. There's a rat running across the freaking garden wall over there. What are you doing? You waiting for permission? Was kriegen dein Rat? Bezil. Yeah, he's ignoring me. It's like, what? I'm not wearing my uniform, asshole. You are. You take care of the rat. All right. Fuck, I didn't give you an opportunity to make it fucking work, you know? Okay, nobody move. Tim will be right back. You know I'm just fucking with people, right? I don't give a shit what you do. Just so long as you ain't sitting there going and, you know, porn bombing the panel or dropping pornographic links in the chat. Or bullying somebody to the point where they're sitting there like, will somebody ban this son of a bitch, please? You're fucking pissing me off. I don't fucking care what you do. The other day I got a question about racist jokes. I'm like, dude, I have a fucking twisted, sick, dark sense of humor. Do you think that racist jokes are gonna bother me? If that's the case, son, you don't know shit about me, son. No, not at all. Not at all. Man, me and my brother, my adopted brother is black, just for context. Like black and Cuban. We called him Cubano. Anyways, one day we was sitting out there playing around on a freaking basketball court, and he decided he was going to go and climb a tree because he wasn't getting his time on the basketball. So he climbed up on that freaking tree, and I passed the basketball off. I picked up a rock and I chucked it at him in the tree, and I missed him, but he fucking fell out the tree anyways and hit the ground. And I said, "Hey, look, everybody, darkness falls." Like, seriously, you're not gonna bother me. Racism does not bother me. What bothers me is like actual hateful racism. That's a whole different story. That's hatred. That's just I don't tolerate hatred because that's what bullies do. Bullies hate people. You know, that's what it's about. I'm not above holding hatred in my heart, but I'll point something out to you. It takes a fucking lot to make me hate. So if you made me hate you, you earned it. Yeah. And you know what? I can't do nothing about that because I can't do nothing about that. What I can do is not allow them on my channel. You know, all that fear monger and fucking fear porn and all that other rest of that shit. It ain't allowed in my house. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respond to it. But if my mama's around, if my sisters are around, you know, if my niece is around, if my brother's around, my sister-in-law's around, you know, any of my cousins are around, my you know, my grandma, my grandpa, no, it's not in the fucking house. Fuck it. It doesn't exist. You hate Monday, huh? Hey, I hate every day except for Thorsday and Friday. Because who is Thor? Funny enough, he's actually the patron saint of blacksmiths. Yes, you got that correct. In the Catholic faith, Thor Widinson is the patron saint of blacksmiths. Same as St. Augustine, actually. Yes, every day should be Friday. It's finally Friday. I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good times roll. Sorry. Had a little trit in my throat. Ribbit. You know how I joke, right? That's a redneck joke if you didn't know. See, I am like literally the king of racist jokes. I'm sure that there's some other folks out there that would probably try and give me a run for my money, but I would counter with, look, I literally have such a broad heritage that I can make racist ass jokes that would make most people freaking blush or get fucking violently angry. And I'd be having people laughing just because I am a mutt. I mean, I'm look, some folks they take the connotation of mutt, but I am a mutt. Okay? I mean, I have more heritage than I have fingers on both hands. Phalanges on both hands. That's why I says I'm a mutt. I can make all sorts of fucking racist jokes y'all don't even know. I don't tolerate hate. That's what I don't tolerate. I tolerate everything else. I'm thick-skinned. I just don't tolerate hate. Because hate takes so much effort that it has to gain my attention. Because you put that much effort into it. If you've put that much effort into it to gain my attention, to actually try that hard to get my attention, okay, motherfucker, you got my attention, but you might not like it. Why I don't like hatred. I try to be everybody's friend. I try to be happy-go-lucky, because I tell you what, don't nobody like a freaking sourpuss. What I miss? Tobacco. It's a big ass club and we ain't in it, so I might as well smoke the best. See what I did there? Might as well fake it till I make it. Smoking that American club because it's a big ass club and we ain't in it. Smoke that American club. No, that is not freaking merch, dude. Don't even think on it like that. That is not my merch. I do not sell merch. Least way is not through my Guardsman Arm channel. My Guardsman Arm channel is 100% demonetized because this is my fucking outright opinion. I sell nothing through this channel. I'll let other people promote their shit all they want, but it's a matter of I sell nothing through this channel. And tobacco, that where I buy it at, it's like $16, I think, something like that, $14. It's somewhere in there. I stopped paying attention. It's a matter, I pay attention to how long it'll last me, not necessarily how much it costs anymore. Because this is the cheapest end of it. I'm buying it by the bag. Only thing more fucking cheaper would be buying it by the bale or growing it myself. And honestly, I've been wanting to grow it myself. Problem is I'm not sure I can even get Burley to grow up here. I know I can get Northern Star to grow up here, but there again, that's a bush. It's not necessarily true tobacco. It's a bush that looks kind of like honeysuckle, actually. Yeah, OHM's pretty all right. Same company, really. Well, maybe not. This one is Lake Erie Tobacco Company.
Kennebuck, New York. Not an awful long way to send a freaking bag of tobacco. That right there, friends, is why I want to be growing my own. Now, the problem comes is, one, getting your hands on the burley. Because burley tobacco is harder to get up here in the north because you just can't grow it up here unless you're doing an indoor kind of a grow, which is one of the reasons I'm building a fucking greenhouse. But anyways, that's a greenhouse hot house. Anyways, if I can get it to go right, I might be able to actually grow some good burley tobacco. Yes, sir. One of these bags is about 2 cartons of cigarette. And I know that because a bag of this will last me about a month. And for my whole life, I pretty much smoked 2 cartons a month. Sometimes 4, but that was a matter of, that's when I was running and gunning, running in the rat race in Los Angeles. And there's a reason why we calls it the rat race, because I tell you what, it's literally a rat race. You're lucky to get a job, and if you get a job, well, fight like hell to keep it. But yeah, when I was told, hey, you gotta you gotta have a vax to be around, be around me and my family, I was like, okay, I can't work for you no more. I just can't. Hi, Andy. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I scare myself as well. Mm-hmm. 200 cigarettes in a carton, which comes out to about 10 packs in a carton. The 10 packs would last me for about 2 weeks. Sometimes it would last me for 4 if I was not stressing, like really hardcore stressing. A lot of my life, I was hardcore stressing. So sometimes I would go up to about 3 cartons a month. I do apologize, but I happen to have a problem here at the house in the name of rat. You little bastards, they don't stop for anything. I'm already at I think I'm at 2 bags of feed. No, 3 bags of feed a month for these chickens, and I got 4 chickens. And of course, chicken feed inevitably brings rats. Well, poke your head out, fucker. I hate it when you're sitting there, and you're in the blind and the pests come out and you're in the middle of something else. You know, you could be updating your twatter or whatever it is. It ain't coming out now. He must have seen me or something. Got leery. But yeah, I was about to shoot me a freaking rat. Right here in the middle of the stream. He's like, God damn. That's how bad these things are, man. I don't know if I showed y'all that. I know I showed my cousin a picture of this, mind. But I shot a rat that was this fucking long. Nose to ass. Not nose to tail, nose to ass. A big motherfucking rat. I mean, I've seen it. I didn't even see ones that big at the pet store, mine. Yeah, I got, the prices of everything nowadays. It's one of the things I'm gonna be doing with the forge is I'm gonna be building some bullet molds, recasting lead. Just because I already see it, I'm gonna be going and freaking range hopping, I'm sure as well. That's to pick up lead, going and picking up tire weights off the side of the road and shit. Something my daddy used to teach me to do when I was a kid. Saved me a lot of trouble finding fishing weights, finding slingshot ammo. Ammunition for my rifles, my air rifles, my powder burners, because I had more than just air rifles when I was a kid. I used to reload my own ammo as a fucking 8-year-old. Don't tell the ATF. Blaine was there reloading his own ammo as an 8-year-old. Oh yeah, as a kid, we was sitting out there fucking pressing ammo, had fucking goggles on, had the face shield and shit. Dad had us done up because mom would have freaked, but at the same time, it's just a matter of different politics, different people. Okay, my dad wanted us to know this is how you do this. This is how you survive. This is how you supplement yourself, and how this is your right as an American. Whereas my mom was always on the level of, well, she saw her mom get shot in the eye with a sucker dart one time, one of them little plunger dart guns when she was a kid, and it mentally traumatized her. So now any kind of gun is just she's scared shitless of them. She's scared of them, even if they're in the hands of a competent individual. She's afraid of them. So weirdest freaking combo you can come across because yeah, my dad was a gun-toting fool. And y'all know me. I mean, if it shoots a projectile fast enough to have lethal potential, and it's accurate enough to be repeatable, and it doesn't hurt me to use it, I'm all for it. I'll jump on that. I got a crossbow. Still, it's kind of funky to cock it for me just because I still get it doesn't matter if I'm doing pressure in or pulling out. The instantaneous let off of pressure is what causes that instantaneous fire up my abs. So that's why I don't use bows. I've not been big on crossbows. I'm kind of, I'm really freaking recoil shy. It's not because I want to be recoil shy. Trust me, I used to shoot big guns. Honestly, that was one of my things. I like shooting big guns. I like shooting bows. I like anything that had to do with the outdoors, like I says. I used to shoot high brass as a kid. Shotgun shells, 12 gauge, high brass. So, yeah, it's no thing for me. Nowadays, it hurts. I'll shoot a gun like maybe a dozen times and I'll be like, all right, take this fucking thing away from me. Because I feel like I'm going to drop it. Because my body hurts. It's not because, oh, I don't know how to handle a gun or I don't know how to shoot this motherfucker. It's because, all right, after a dozen fucking recoils, especially in rapid succession, it actually does start to fucking hurt. That shaking back and forth, whether it's from a rifle or it's from a pistol, the shaking on my body and my body tensing to try and stop it hurts. And it's hard to explain other than like, if you've ever had a torn muscle or, you ever had a toothache and sneezed? That one is pretty fucking close. The pain you feel when you sneeze and you have a toothache is about asimilar to what I feel whenever I jerk. That's why, even training in the martial arts anymore hurts. All of it is painful. It causes me physical pain, but there's a good side to it otherwise. If I didn't muscle through the pain, I'd be stuck in a wheelchair right now. My body would have atrophied long ago. It's simply because I chose to push through it. I gritted my teeth and just said, fuck this bullshit. I'm going to go strong. Nothing is going to fucking stop me. Nothing's going to hold me back. And that's how I got through it. The pot helped, certainly. So did codeine, so did Vicodin, so did a whole bunch of other shit. But it only helped. It didn't make the pain go away. It didn't stop the pain. None of it has ever stopped the pain. I still get that, I throw a punch and it feels like I've been hit in the gut with a good heavy duty uppercut and somebody's wearing blades on their knuckles. That's what it feels like. That's why I don't fight people anymore. So just nah. As far as martial arts is concerned, yeah, I'll still take a challenge, although anymore is the limiting factor is not my knowledge. The limiting factor is my physical handicap. So, yeah. One of the downsides to fighting back during a home invasion, whatever you want to call it, somebody barging into your house intent on killing you. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the downside to fighting back. Yeah, you'll probably survive and you'll probably protect everybody's shit or whatever, and whoever else is in the house or whatever, fine. However, you're gonna feel it for the rest of your life. And I fucking guarantee it. You could be the hardest son of a bitch out there and think you're the baddest thing that walked through the front, baddest thing that walked through heaven's gates and onto the God's green earth. I'm here to tell you now, doesn't matter how big you are, how bad you think you are. There's always someone bigger and badder out there. I don't go looking for trouble, but my inability to run from it, that's what made me dangerous. At the time, anyhow. Dangerous to myself because I would not run. And yes, you also might die from it. It is very true. You also might die from it. You fight back, you might die from it. That is reason numero uno why when people talk about self-defense shootings and stuff like that, it's always about disparity of force or something like that. Well, it's not just for disparity of force. I'm going to line this out to you. The fellow that attacked me did not have a monopoly on force. He had a advantage in weight, and an advantage in experience. Now, these are things that at the time I really didn't give a fuck about because I wasn't doing anyone harm. I was simply just being a peaceful, peaceful motherfucker. And I stayed peaceful right until somebody swung on me and then I let loose. So I was never in the wrong in this situation. It just matters of, doesn't matter if you're in the wrong or the right. If you get fucking hurt, you're going to get hurt and you're going to feel it, even if you don't die from it. And you just might die. So, yeah, don't get a wild hair up your ass to, be Rambo. You are not John Rambo. You are not freaking Superman. You get an S tattooed on your chest, motherfucker. That's up to you if you want to test if you're bulletproof or not. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to fucking be the one to do that. I learned the hard way. Ain't nobody bulletproof. Ain't a single motherfucker out there is bulletproof. Hell. A pellet gun can kill you. You think a fucking... And, that's the way as I look at it now. It's like, it doesn't matter, No matter how big or bad you are, there's all sorts of things out there that can... People die every fucking day from slipping and falling and breaking their neck on a fucking, a wet bathroom floor. I mean, y'all want to tell me that, oh, well, I'm so tough, I could take it. Anyway, let me put it this way. You get shot in the ass with a fucking Daisy power line with a BB in it, 6 pumps. I guarantee you. You ain't gonna long get shot again, motherfucker. I guarantee you. Death Claw. Cheers beers, brother. Another day, another political grenade that we evade. So yeah. Next on the list, get the freaking forge moved around. Get the plants up in a freaking greenhouse zone. Still got to get plastic put up there. What the hell? All right, nothing. There are a bunch of Rambos on YouTube. Oh, that's some funny shit. Like, you know, I laugh my ass off because there's a lot of guys that they like to play act at it. All right. And then there are some real deal motherfuckers. All right. And you can normally tell the difference. But not always. I'll be right back, folks. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh. Yeah, there are a bunch of Rambo jockey wannabes, super jocks, whatever, on the screw tubes, and they're like, yeah, Superman, this, that, the other. I'm like, no, you ain't, dude. I'll put it this way. I have actually fought motherfuckers. And not in a ring. And, you know, that's why it's like, what? I'm ready. I got my guns loaded. No, really. Your guns are loaded. So, what's your blowout pack look like? What's your IFAK look like? Because, hey, even if it's a fucking turkey baster, and you know, if it works, man, god damn, at least it works. But if you ain't got, if you just answered what the fuck is an IFAK, you need to go back to school. If you, yeah, if you don't know what an IFAK is, you need to go back to first aid school, battlefield triage. You shouldn't be a CERT team member until you know how to do that and know what it is and why it's important. because that's how you treat a GSW to the thorax, the upper thorax, the chest cavity within the rib cage. Okay, that's how you treat one of those. And the bullet wound is anywhere except for in the heart. If it's in the heart, not much you can do on the field. If it's, close by the hospital, they can stabilize and, start them on a, a quadruple bypass machine. There's a possibility they can save their life, but, it's. However, lungs, they're important. They help you to breathe. If you don't know what tension hemothorax is, tension pneumothorax, that is when you have blood filling up in your chest cavity and it is crushing your lung to the point where you can't breathe in. I went through that. And it's the scariest fucking thing you'll ever do, because you're sitting there, you're hyperventilating, you're in and out of consciousness, you're trying to fucking stay awake, you're trying to stay alive, but you can't really do so because you're not getting enough oxygen to your blood. So every now and then you just kind of and narcolepsy out. Oh, yeah, my guns are loaded and I go to the range to practice. I don't know about per week, but certainly several times per month. I make sure that I at least get, 10 rounds out of my pistol, 3 or 4 magazines out of each rifle. And I do that in the woods, long range. And then on top of that, I'm shooting here fucking constantly at rats. So I get plenty of training. I mean, let me put it this way. That's the target you got to hit. That's the target you've got to hit. Don't miss, motherfucker, because if you miss, that rat just learned. And you're not going to get him there again. Don't fucking miss. If you can hit a rat or a beer cap, you can kill an alligator. You can kill a fucking crocodile. You can kill anything with an air gun. Little bitty, bean flinger. That's what I'm saying. If you can hit that, you can kill anything. Yeah, rats don't shoot back. You're right. So don't get shot at in the first place. It happens. The circle of death. It tries to take me out all the time, man. It's the Legion of Death is there. I have come for your firstborn. Oh. See what I'm saying? Like the evil that they're into and shit. They serve the circle of death. Me, I choose to serve the circle of life. Where the fuck did I drop my lighter? That's one of them. Ah. That rain is really coming down, man. Yeah, unless I move the forge further back in, I'm not going to get to the forge this year. Because that tarp just keeps on sagging straight down on top of it. So yeah, I got to move the forge around. This is going to be fun. You realize that tree stump alone is like about 800 fucking pounds of wood. And then I've got to lift, the forge that's on top of it, which, well, the the long trough burner that is on top of it that's made out of stone. Basically, um, ceramide concrete. And then on top of that, I've got maybe another 75, anywhere from 75 to 150 pounds of bricks sitting on top of the forge right now. So yeah, I've got a lot of fucking work to do before I even get it running. It's just a matter of, now I'm at a point I can start doing that. Because it's raining. Finally. It's fucking finally raining. The forest won't go up as like a freaking matchbox when, fucking rat bastard. He's back. As soon as the rain really starts pouring, like, see, I've thought about sitting here and just doing the old sniper technique trick, just letting the rifle sit on my shoulder and just holding it over here on the fucking, on the top of the chair here. And then right when he comes into frame, just kind of settle it over and fire. But I don't want to be holding that much weight up all the time. It's expenditure of calories that I can't really afford. But yes, I do need to be practicing my freaking technique. I certainly need to do that. I mean, I'll do a quick little show of what I mean. I basically, you sit here like such, and you can basically hang your hand on your, on your stock, in your stock, if you got a thumb hole stock like mine, but, basically just sit there like this. And then when you see your quarry come in, you simply move like such. Very slowly, very deliberately, slip your safety off, fire. It's a deer hunting trick my dad taught me. Deer freak out at large gross motor movements. But if, something just kind of moves like this, they'll pick their head up, look around, and go right back to eating. So you just got to be able to sit there, get it into position before he picks its head up and is actually able to stabilize itself. And then you got to hold it until it stops looking at you. And then when it starts to put its head down, that's when you fire. Because at the moment that it's putting its head down, it's not, the response of freak out is not preloaded in its spine anymore. And so in that interim of going back down to ground with its head, the deer is not going to jump the bullet if you're using subsonics. A little trick I learned, for deer hunting from my dad. You're using subsonic weaponry like a bow and arrow, for instance. You've got to be able to hold it until that deer puts its head back down. Once its head goes back down, then release. Because its eyes aren't able to track directly as its head is going down. So while its head is going down, it can't see the arrow coming in. It can't hear, its brain isn't registering the sound of a string twang or the crack of a subsonic rifle. So you get the drift of what I says. It's a matter of in the hunt, you can put it to good use. Heaven forbid you have to use that for for the duty of the militia. Well, it's a tool in your back pocket. Because human beings, like deer, are pretty much the same way when we talk about gross motor movements. A large movement while your eyes are not flickering around is easy for you to see out of your periphery. However, a gross motor movement while your eyes are flickering around or you're looking to the side or your head's in motion, you're not going to see that gross motor movement. You've got no peripheral vision while your head is in motion. It's a light, subtle tactic, but I swear to God it fucking works. Only move when the quarry's head is moving because their eyes are shaking while their head is moving. It's just a natural physical fact of all creatures on this planet. There is no such thing as smooth muscular movement. It's all twitchy. It's all shaky. Even if it looks refined to your eye, okay? What you're not realizing is your brain is compensating. Your brain is already compensating for the shake in your ocular nerve. So you're not seeing the shake as your head is moving from side to side and you're tracking whatever you're looking at. Now, while you're tracking what you're looking at, you cannot see the fucker over here that's also doing. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. This is why it's actually a good idea if you go out hunting to go out hunting in pairs, go buddy hunting. I don't because I've found I'm more stealthy alone. But it's actually smarter to go hunting in pairs because you might get zoned in on your quarry and then not see the threat coming from your 7:30 or your 6:30. I mean, and all of a sudden you've got a doe trampling your ass, or you've got a bear running over the top of you, or say you're up in a tree and you have a snake crawl down your shirt or something. This is what I'm talking about. Why it's good to have a pair if you go. But that being said, I've always personally, unless it was with my dad, I always hunted alone. Because, like I said, I am more stealthy. I'm also 100 times more careful when I hunt alone. And people spook the shit out of me when we're out hunting just because of the likelihood of hunting accidents and all that shit. And, me and my dad, we were we were key. We could work together. We could work as a team. I went hunting with another feller when I was a little younger. We went out on a local preserve. And he went out with a shotgun. I went out with my air rifle. We were out there, just grousing for coyotes and rattlesnakes and rabbits and this motherfucker, mind you, I got nothing against the guy. He's a good dude, all right. He's got a good heart and soul. But this motherfucker straight up swept my ball sack with his fucking 12 gauge shotty, not a foot away from my nuts with his finger on the fucking trigger and the safety off with a fucking thing of birdshot in the fucking damn chamber. I mean, at least have the common decency to put a slug through the back of my fucking my asshole so I can, I can go through life not feeling it. Fuck me, man. That, whoa. That got me mad. Dude, literally just right across my nuts. What I didn't see was the rattlesnakes, slithering behind me. What the fuck ever. Not that butthurt about it. The rattlesnake was just trying to get the fuck away from us. However, if he would have slapped that trigger just a little bit, too early, I might be singing in a higher pitch, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's why, as I said, it's good to go out hunting in pairs because, pairs or team hunting because you've got other people there to watch your ass, okay? However, and this comes back to one of those things is, why first aid, and I mean all forms of first aid. I'm talking knowing everything you can about, treating traumatic injury in the bush because it might mean the difference between your life or your death because you might end up accidentally fucking shooting yourself with your own rifle or your own pistol. It's happened. Okay, there are people who have actually shot themselves, lived through it, only to bleed out later on the trail back to their car. This is why I carry so much shit in my backpack. I'm not bleeding out on the trail on the way back to my car. I mean, I've heard lots of tales, and I mean lots of tales about this shit. People doing, just exactly what they set out to do was go and hunt, spend a day on the side of the mountain, not have any trouble, not have any harm, walking with their rifle loaded because they're in fucking bear country or they're in coyote country or they're in wolf country or they're in puma country or they're in snake country. So they got their rifle loaded, shotgun loaded. And, lo and behold, they're walking and they trip over a fucking, a branch or something in the ground. And they stub their shotgun barrel right into their foot and blow half their foot off. Or, they fall and the rifle falls backwards and shoots through their fucking arm or through their shoulder. It's happened. Okay, yeah, there have been also times where people have fallen on the gun like this and it's, it's over. Real sorry for that feller, but it is what it is. But hunting in pairs wouldn't have saved that guy. But hunting in pairs would have saved this other feller who put a bullet up through his armpit and out to the top of his shoulder. Having somebody there to help him put on a fucking compress would have saved his life. These are actual stories that did happen. All right. And these came up in my hunter safety education. The course you go through in order to get your hunting license for sport hunting. Which, if you're going to have a firearm out in the woods in California, I highly recommend you have that, even if you are not sport hunting. Just because game wardens can be assholes. They can be. That doesn't mean that they are. Anyways, so, you know, say you're out there in the woods and you're hiking around and you got just your sidearm on. You know how many times people have actually shot themselves in the ankle or in the leg sliding down the side of a canyon drift or something, or, you know, having a culvert come out from underneath them? Put a bullet in their leg, didn't even know it until they dug themselves out of the culvert and were sitting there bleeding profusely everywhere and didn't understand why. It's happened. Hunting accidents happen. And the way that you avoid that is that you reduce the possibility of casualty. And then on top of that, you carry proper first aid. That's why I says, an IFAC, have a fucking real, or at least a passable, for fuck's sake, IFAC, something that will fucking work. Okay? I've seen some crazy ass fucking shit work in the field. Like I said, a fucking turkey baster and a scalpel saved a man's life. My dad did that, and man, to my dad's dying day, the man was, sitting there just congratulating him for just saving his ass. Stupid ass mistake he made with a 22 long rifle. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. Some people do dumbasses. You know, they meet that French fella, Mr. Dumas. And he met that French fella. He was sitting there dicking around with the little Derringer pistol, didn't know it was loaded. Popped a round off, it bounced twice and hit him in the chest. Got lodged behind a rib and started a light bleed, which started to cause tension hemothorax, which is when your lung is getting collapsed and it's pushing blood into there. And he could feel it, and he knew he wasn't making it to the hospital. Well, my dad went in with a fucking scalpel blade in his finger and a fucking turkey baster, and they got him to the hospital. First aid can save your life, even if it's redneck first aid. And yes, that is redneck is fucking dangerous as hell. And no, I don't recommend that as your first go-to. I'm saying that it did save a man's life. So, yeah. Heaven for fucking bid. But reality is, it saved a man's life. I can't argue with them fucking stats. You can't argue with that. It's like, fuck, it got the blood from pooling and reservoir in his chest, was able to retain enough to be able to keep the blood from pooling and retaining in his chest till he got to the fucking hospital. The hospital staff are the ones who, fixed him back up. But in that instance, he would have probably ended up bleeding internally to the point where he was unable to breathe before they got to the hospital. Mind you, they were out in the middle of fucking sticks when this happened. Suffice to say, it saved his life. It's not something I would normally recommend. You don't go just doing this shit. He had a hell of an infection afterwards for a couple of years. He still loved my dad for it. He knew what my dad had done for him. It gave him time. And honestly, when it comes down to, medical evacuation, especially if you are driving somewhere, giving somebody time is working a miracle, literally. When you can give somebody time to get to the freaking medical professionals, that's what first aid is for. That's what triage is for. That's what all of this is for. That's what, the, traumatic injury first aid is for. It's specifically built to give you time to get to the hospital. So many people don't know their first aid. From the word go, don't know nothing about first aid. Oh, I know how to do CPR. Yeah, chest compressions for 30 seconds and then 2 breaths. And then chest compressions for 30 seconds and then 2 breaths. No. Chest compressions at the exact and right appropriate rhythm. Otherwise, you could end up giving them arrhythmia. Causing them to have a heart attack later on. Or an aneurysm. Well done. 2, deep chest compressions to the point where you are almost, if not, breaking ribs. Because you are trying to impact the heart to pump blood. You're not trying to squeeze the lungs. It's pump, 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 pump. It's not squish, squish, squish. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to try and time it. Each impact causes an impulse going through the heart muscle. And the way that the heart pumps is boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can literally watch the little the ECG monitor. It's goes down, up, down, even. Why does it do that? Down, up, even. Because that's 4 pulses in the heart. A lot of people don't realize that you have 4 chambers in your heart and it pulses 4 times to pump blood. So if your compression, your compression impacts are squish, 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 you're not doing fuck all except for just sitting there and giving that person a headache. They're not getting any oxygen to their brain. Their heart is not getting any kind of impulse. And so it's not going to go back to its proper rhythm. Adrenaline is so that you can, get a heart started again. But as long as there's a weak or thready pulse, you can sit there and boom, 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 boom. And you make sure you space it just long enough so that you can get back and to that first beat. Because what you're trying to do is get the heart to impulse. By giving it that impulse, it's going to start pumping harder again. And that's the whole idea. You want it to pump harder. The thready pulse that you feel when somebody is literally ebbing away is their heart having a cramp. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to actually literally punch the cramp out. It's like when you punch out a Charlie horse. Same diff, only it's this far into their chest that you've got to make that energy go. That's why I said, you're thump, 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 thump. All your energy, and you are pushing from here to here. All right? So you almost want to take it to their spine. Almost. You know, you're really not trying to break bones here. You're not trying to really hurt anybody, but the reality of it is you are doing your damnedest to keep them alive. And how do you keep them alive? By making their heart work harder, because that gets oxygen going. As soon as you get them to cough, that's that diaphragm reaction. That's the important part. Then you can step back and be like, all right, their diaphragm is reacting, which means that their voluntary muscles are working. Okay? Because you don't realize it, but your breathing is actually a voluntary, involuntary spasm. It can be governed either way. Involuntary, you don't get the full breath. Voluntary, you get coughing and you get full inhale, exhale. That's the difference. So once you get that cough, you sit back and you let nature do its course. Their adrenal glands are going to fucking go nuts at that moment. Why you sit back in case their body jumps at you. So you're not in their way. So you don't possibly get clobbered or something. Because that can happen. Now they're already going to have chest problems. They're already going to have all this because you've been the elephant on their chest for the last, minute or what have you. So of course they're going to be in pain. Good verbal skills at this point is necessary. Are you okay? Can you breathe on your own? Can you look at me? Can you do me a favor and blink twice so I understand that you understand what I'm saying? Things like that. Being able to communicate with the individual that you just, been through this, discourse with. Now, translates across the board to say like a broken bone. Broken bones happen all the fucking time in the woods. You don't realize it until it happens to you. But it happens all the fucking time. And most of the time, it's because of carelessness. Sometimes it's because of misplaced courage, misplaced bravery, but which we call stupidity. But most of the time, it's because of carelessness. Just walking willy-nilly through the woods. My fucking ankle. That sort of shit like that. You roll your ankle or you fucking break your metatarsal or freaking break your tibia or fibia or heaven forbid your femur. Or the radiator ulna. That one hurts. I remember that one real well. Those ones hurt. Don't break your arm, kids. It comes back to haunt you. No, see, this is what I'm talking about. Is like you've got to know first aid for all types of injuries. It could be related to hunting or battlefield injuries. It could be related to, simple cuts, scrapes, bruises. It could be related to break sprains. Could be related to, heaven forbid, you are out there with somebody who's diabetic and they're trying to get in better shape. I mean, it's not likely to happen, but it does. There are some people who tried this and it's worked for them. The physical fitness that your body is in is basically also the physical fitness that your organs are in for the most part, to an extent, Not entirely, mind you, to an extent. Yeah, so stupid people do stupid things, and smart people do stupid things, and incredibly brave people do incredibly stupid things, and then careless people oftentimes end up getting hurt a lot more gravely than they should be. I'll say it that way because, careless people are just, the Reedy Valley girl, the I don't know any better people. They haven't had enough life experience to sit there and just says, sit the fuck down, shut up, and listen, motherfucker, you're about to die. Okay? They haven't had that life experience. So it's a matter of, since they haven't had that life experience, they're not that freaking keyed into the world around them. They think, oh, the world is blasé, what the fuck ever. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't bother me because it couldn't hurt me because it couldn't, this, that, and the other. And all, rainbows and puppy dog dreams and unicorn farts and pixie dust shit, Don't ask. Huh, seem like ninja. Quick like a cat. It's not like that. Death Claw Jedi. Dinner time. Have a good time. Me personally, I already had my dinner. Macaroni and cheese again. Hey, fuck, it might be proletariat, but fills the void. Fuels the fire. But yeah, I need to get a higher protein content in my diet very soon because I got a lot more work to do. Got a 500 to 800 pound freaking, or sorry, 8 to 1200 pound freaking yellow pine round. I gotta move to the other side of the back porch over there. So, yeah, I'm really not looking forward to this portion of the work. The other part of it, swinging a hammer, somehow that it just rides natural. It makes my arm get tired, actually. Funny enough. Not a lot that makes my arm get tired. Swinging a hammer, yeah, that'll make your arm tired, especially if it's over the top of your head. Fuck, I hated that shit. Putting that damn greenhouse thing together, that was not fun. That's a good question there, Hoss. Pete, I think, now this is just me personally, there is going to be absolute clusterfuck chaos in the streets. And of course, Nunky Sam, in order to keep his control and all that shit together, is going to go ahead and hand down freaking leniencies and free money and shit. But people are going to be disillusioned with it. They're going to finally be starting to wake up to the fact that free money has a price. And that price is that it's worthless. That money is worth less now because it is taking up the place of money that is already there in circulation that was founded on something tangible, such as goods, services, materials, real estate, ideas, things like that, innovation. So it's money that has no physical backing. In other words, it is the ultimate fiat currency. It is fake in every way. And it's not just fiat currency in so much as it's literally, for lack of a better term, it is a counterfeit. So you won't have the money, even though you've got the money. Then on top of that, we're talking about, you want to put, you want to put jobs back into the marketplace. Well, that's not according to their agenda. They want as much control as they can have, which means taking away the abilities that you have to break their chains, to break their control, which having a job, having, supplies and fundamentals and, a way to, if push came to shove and the worst were to come to worst, you have the property and the means to be able to self-sustain. That's what they're trying to stop. Anyways, hey, Pete.
Good. How are you, my friend? Yeah, so I want to show you this very quick here. So people are not really talking about this, but yeah, I just dropped you the link to it. If you want to share the screen, you can. Layoffs are coming. Layoffs are coming. Lockdowns are coming. Mask mandate is coming. So people can say, no, you are wrong, 300. I don't care what your opinion about this, but it is coming. I have said that a long time ago on my channel. I'm talking about this for now 3 years, and people want to just ignore the facts, but numbers don't lie. More people gonna lose their jobs. More people are not able to pay their cost of living because the inflation is keep going up. More companies are laying off people because they can't afford paying their employees anymore. Things are getting worse. I'm telling you. I mean, there is. I understand. You're going to need to have. You need to know how to defend yourself and all this, but the bigger picture here is if people are going to lose their homes because they can't afford paying their bills anymore, that's going to be a bigger problem, because then you're going to have millions of people on the streets, and that's going to turn to a massacre. And people are going to steal and rob and kill and whatever. That's at least that's how I see things. I don't know.
In order to keep your property, you're going to have to be an innovator. You're going to have to be somebody who can make money in the face of, economic upheaval, which is a difficult thing to be able to do. That's something I've been working at my entire life, believe it or not. The ability to make money in, times of political and economic upheaval is that's one of them godsends and boons, if you will. That's why I work on making knives, because it doesn't matter when in history you look or for what purpose. Every single human being who has ever lived has needed, has used a cutting implement.
Right. I mean, you know, there are so many companies are going to lay off more people because they can't afford keeping up with the inflation. I mean, you know, they have to sell their products uh, more expensive. They have to cut on their prices. They have to lay off people because they cannot afford keeping them anymore. You know, hey, I can only afford right now, for example, I can afford only having 5 employees in a regular situation. Now inflation kicks in. I might have to lay off 2 or 3 of them because I can't afford paying them anymore. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, bunch of trucking companies are laying off people. They can't afford to keep up with that anymore, and that's going to be a problem. For no wonder why you see like empty shelves. You know, unfortunately, that's what how many people believe that Walmart is a food production, but no, Walmart is just a, trend. They deliver only the food to you, but they don't grow in Walmart. That's what people need to
Yeah,
understand.
Walmart doesn't grow anything that's not in the garden section.
Right.
And
I
even
mean,
then, they go to the
I
local
had this
nurseries to
one,
get that.
yeah, this one person was, I was asking this question, hey, are you buying seeds? He like, what do I need seeds for? I'm like, yeah, you know, to grow your own food. Oh, that's what Walmart is there. I'm like, are you serious? So, so yeah,
Yeah, you know, people like that are just, they're the kind of people that I just sit there and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I've been arguing with an idiot.
right. I think, you know, these are the type of people who are gonna die first. I shot my first turkey today. Scared the shit out of everyone at Walmart. Hey, what's up, Texas? Good to see you. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I have heard on other channels, you know, don't comply, right? But well, here's the thing. Um, are you gonna comply even if you lose your roof over your head? Are you gonna comply if you lose your job and you have no more income? Are you still compliant? I mean, that is a big question. And you
Well,
don't even have to comply because you're going to lose your job regardless.
Pete,
Don't worry
you're
about
forgetting.
complying.
You're forgetting, Pete. I don't have an income.
Right, I have no income either, so I really care less about that.
Yeah, that's why it's all a joke to me.
Right,
You know, it's an entire freaking joke. To me, I don't have an income. If I make a sword like this one, I am losing money on this. I want people to know that. Like, this thing cost me fucking $3,000 to make. And I'd be selling one, if I ever sold one of these, it'd be selling for 4. And I'd still be losing money on it. That's fucking dead serious with that.
I didn't wear a face. When the shut does them. Everybody in the chat, okay. Let me tell you what I did. I didn't wear a mask either, but I did wear a mask when I walked to Walmart. I wear my M40 gas mask, and guess what they said? I'm scaring the people. I need to leave the facility. And I grabbed his arm. I said, my friend, come here. Since you want to play so smart, can you please read what you have on your fucking window? He says, mask required. I said, hello. And what is that? That is a mask. But you know, they were going with their rules. You know, they said, sorry, you cannot come in here if you don't wear that peppers in
Yeah,
your.
I wore the monkey muzzle to shut people up. That was literally the only fucking reason I wore it. Because I knew it wasn't doing a goddamn thing. I wore it to shut people the fuck up because I was tired of hearing them bickering and pissing and moaning.
But you know, right there.
You need to have a mask on, sir.
Right, but you know, right there, I knew that this was all bullshit. You know, right there, I knew this was all fucking BS because I'm wearing a real gas mask, right? That's not acceptable, but that stupid Pampers face, that's acceptable, right? So that's bullshit. So right there, I knew. I said, "Oh, that is a sign for me not to wear a damn thing." You know, but then you have these fanatics. They wear gloves and have a mask on while they are driving in their own car. There's no passenger in the car. Maybe they can catch a pandemic through the engine or something.
I think I said it the best back when I was watching Prepared Mind. It's like trying to stop a flock of mosquitoes with a damn chain link fence.
Right.
That's about the equivalent because the size of the virus itself versus the delivery size, the size of the delivery molecule versus the size of the freaking, the holes in the, the filter of the dust mask, they're not even close to proportional. That dust mask ain't stopping shit. And the only thing it's stopping is you from smiling. I don't know if people know that, but it is stopping you from smiling. It's stopping you from being happy. Because if you don't see somebody else smile, you're less inclined to smile yourself, which inadvertently has an effect on your overall mental health and well-being, which also influences your self-confidence. Your self-confidence, in turn, is what allows you to have critical thinking skills.
Right. Let me see.
Because you have enough self-worth to say, wait a minute, this doesn't fucking make sense.
Let me see if I find this very clear. I want to show you something. This is exactly how they want us to be. Let's see. There you go. I found it. Hold up. Give me a second. Okay. So this is a painting of my father, which he painted in the 60s or in the 70s. But this is exactly how the government wants us to be. And here we go. We don't mind sharing this. This is how they want us to be. To shut the fuck up, close our eyes, and don't listen to nothing. But
don't think at all.
Right.
Be a bump on a log.
You know what? Only the violence will come out of our brain. And that's exactly where we are heading to.
Yeah, they are trying to compel compliance through, a certain level of mental brain, if you will. Like they're making you do stupid things that don't fucking work, because that way it shows how willing you are to comply. And then when they turn around and says all this other stuff, they'll say, well, you wore a mask.
Right.
You wore masks when you didn't have to. What's so different about asking you to do this? You don't have to do it, but, it's a good idea if you do. They'll pull that shit for anything. They've tried to pull it for guns in the past.
Yeah. Now here's my question. We went through it the first time, when they were testing to see how stupid we actually are, and how scared we are. Are we gonna go for it or not? So the first time was a test. Now my question is, what about the second time? Are they going to go for it because of fear or because of not losing their lousy job that they have, or are they going to say fuck it? That is the main question now, because there is already a talk about it, Blaine, that they're going to do the mass mandate again. South Texas, Kansas, and Pennsylvania already closed colleges and schools. So it is coming back. So don't be foolish.
I've always said it this way: there is no more abhorrent addict on this planet than a politician with power in his grasp. That includes the tweakers, that includes the crackheads, that includes all of them. There is nothing more abhorrent as an addict than a politician with power in his grasp.
Yeah, I mean, China is not doing well either. They're having financial issues too now. Because at first I thought, okay, so the dollar is going down. It's maybe only the United States that has these kind of issues, but China is fucking up too right now. Their numbers are dropping. Their supply chains are going down. Their production is going down. So basically, China is following what's going on here. If the air we breathe is that bad, I will wear a military grade mask.
Mm-hmm. If it's that bad, I wear it at MBG.
Right. And I only say one sentence to all this. If the vaccine was really good for you, they would not force you. They would not tell you, oh, if you don't take it, you cannot go work. So obviously, it ain't good for you. That's the way I see it. And then funny thing is, every person who was actually vaccinated started getting sick and all this shit. Yeah, how come? I have not taken the vaccine. I have COPD and asthma, and I'm still around. I didn't get sick at all. How come?
Well, you know what? You remember what they said about if you smoke, the nicotine kills the COVID virus. Thought it was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off so much, dude, because the nicotine won't even kill the cold virus. All right? The common cold is not killed by nicotine. So tell me how the fuck something that is based off of the common cold gets killed by nicotine.
Well, I was smoking hookah at that time. Worse than cigarettes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Citric acid, what you normally find in orange juice and stuff like that, helps you get over the cold virus quicker, and it'll actually make it so that you don't feel the symptoms so much of the cold virus. But at the same time, that's fucking orange juice, man. That's not smoking hookah. That's not sitting there chewing off of a fucking cigarette, man.
I really believe that. That's just my opinion. Because this is what I'm really thinking. I'm thinking only the people who've been vaccinated, they got the COVID. The vaccine is the COVID, I believe. And everyone who took the vaccine, their immune system drastically dropped. And then they keep saying, "Oh yeah, eat oranges, take vitamins, and all this." I didn't take nothing.
I got sick, but the difference was, it was like any other time I'd had a cold. or when I had SARS, or when I had MERS, it was the same fucking shit.
I don't know.
And
I haven't. I can't. I think the last time I catch the cold was like over 17 years ago when I lived actually in Europe. That was the last time I remember that I catch a cold. But here in the US, I have never gotten. I never catch the cold or anything like that.
well, see, that's the thing though, Pete. Once you've caught a virus, your body is already pre-tuned to attack that virus before it gets to its infectious point. So it
Mhm.
doesn't even have time to gestate in your body before it gets deleted, because your body already recognizes that virus. So if you've already had a cold, then getting something like SARS or getting MERS or getting COVID
Mhm.
is just it's gonna bounce off of you. You're gonna walk right through it as if it's just another cold, or as if it's like a flu or something, or you just feel a little under the weather. Maybe you got a little phlegm, more phlegm than usual or something. It
Mhm.
doesn't really feel like you're sick. Now, for people who did not ever get a fucking cold in their lives, it might have affected them a little stronger, but at the same time, it's like getting a cold for the first time. It's not like what happened to the people who got the fucking vaccine and then got the fucking virus and ended up with freaking pulmonary embolisms and shit. You
Mhm.
coughing up blood clots the size of a monkey's fist. I mean,
I have the best medicine for COVID. You know what it's called? It's called antisocial.
no, I got the best medicine for COVID. You know what it's called? Orange juice. Funny enough, that's what got me through being sick.
My
The whole
mom.
fucking time I was sick, and I actually did get sick, all right, because I'm prone to getting a virus if it's out there to be caught, just because I'm in contact with people that much. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm prone to get a virus, and yet I just fucking walked through it. Just orange juice every morning, glass of orange juice with my coffee, made for some of the nastiest freaking heartburn in the world, but it worked.
Right. No, I disagree with some. Some says most people that died of C-19 had pre-existing condition or elderly. I disagree with that because there was an NBA player died from that because he took the vaccine. And a dude who
Yeah,
was about to run for the Olympics, he was 28 years old who took it and
see,
died. So I don't agree
Song,
with.
Song's talking about the majority, not about
Oh, the
the one-off
majority.
cases.
Oh, the
Yeah, he's
majority.
talking about the majority, not the one-off cases. The majority of people that died from COVID-19 actually did have pre-existing conditions. There were some one-off cases, and then there were a lot more of the vaxxed getting deathly ill.
Well, yeah, in the beginning, it was that's what they were saying that the elderly supposed to take the vaccine first, right? And then later on, I think in 2021 or 2022, that's when they announced that yeah, younger people supposed to take it too. And then it was for everyone.
And then they said, "Oh, herd immunity's taking over," and fucking funny enough,
I
who
mean,
is it that
right
walked
now
through
there
it
are
if it was nothing?
applications about any kind of age. There is no age limit in that anymore. It
Yeah,
took
no.
about
What tripped me out is that they said that it was my age bracket was the most susceptible to the outrageous effects And the people that were outside of my age bracket, which my age bracket runs from 25 to 35, because you got to remember at the time I was 34 when all this started. I was in the age bracket, and they said, you know, it's most likely going to give you guys the worst effects. And lo and fucking behold, hi everybody.
The window diary artist and poet says, I took vitamin C, zinc, and D3. You know what I took? I took saffron and basmati rice.
Yeah, I don't have an allergy to antibiotics, but what I have is a mental aversion to pills.
Mm.
Just because of the years of being in the freaking bullshit with the mental health. Yeah. I have a problem with pills. I'll do inhalants. I'll do. I'm still sketchy about needles just because I had a family member who died from a heroin overdose. So, yeah, I'm sketchy as fuck about needles. But yeah, I'll smoke. I'll smoke anything as long as it's organic. It has to have been grown. I'm not fucking taking pills ever again. And well, if I can help it, I'll say it that way. I have a mental aversion to pills. It's like I have to fight myself to take them now. Even aspirin. It's like I have to literally think about anything else while I'm swallowing the pill. Otherwise, I'll just yeah. And it does. It makes me uncomfortable as hell just to take pills.
Mm.
Like I said, I can handle just about any fucking thing else you throw at me. Like, hell yes, I've been to Mushroom Mountain once or twice, but who's counting? Ouchie Fauci's a hobbit in the woods. Probably is a freaking probably got the furry feet to go with it. Holy shit. We're getting a summer's worth of rain in one afternoon. Well, yeah. So it's been a wonderful day. We've been at this for 2 hours. I've had one beer. And I think I'm going to cut it off here. Y'all, it's been lovely. It's been grand. But as it stands, this is the end. I am ye old guardsman on motherfuckers. And I am out.
See you, Brian. See you, everybody.
See